Hi, Gemini. Happy birthday. I know it's been a hell of a month. Before we even get started, I did want to let you guys know a couple of things. First things first, we're going back to the Oracle cards. I just really like it better. Not saying I don't like using the Fae blessings. I definitely do. But I feel like right now you're going to get more in depth on like what you can use the Fae blessings for. So we're doing the Dragon Oracle and the Dragon Fae Oracle deck, my favorites, for your session. Also, I still have all Patreon content is still available. It's timeless. You can go back and watch May. It'll cover, since they're timeless readings, so you have all access to those readings. Unfortunately, right now, I thought I was going to be able to take personal readings after the 16th. And due to personal medical issues that I am currently having, I have to have surgery on the 20th of June, given it's going to be in office. But they're basically removing so far they think it's a benign tumor. I'm just kind of like, damn, because I really wanted to come back and do readings and take appointments for you guys on the 20th. But unfortunately, I will not be able to do that. I don't even know the recovery for it, honestly. So I'm probably going to have this taking sessions and all that at least push back till July. So don't panic though. I'm not panicking. They said it's non-malignant, which is good. I'm just, I really was not planning for this. I mean, I know some of you are like, but you're a psychic medium. You knew this was coming. Yeah, I've known for a couple of years and I've been trying to avert it. But sometimes the funny thing is, whenever you try to avert your destiny, it ends up making it happen regardless, which, I keep having to relearn that lesson this month. And I think that might be something you guys are learning too. It's like Geralt from The Witcher. You know what I'm saying? Like he keeps trying to avert his child surprise. And then guess what? Everybody kept saying for like years, even before Ciri was born, like, you're going to meet the girl in the woods. She will always find you. Like you're destined to be, linked. People linked by destiny will always find each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like literally that line kept going throughout the whole first season of The Witcher. If you have not seen it, it's one of my favorite shows. I also was a huge fan of the games. I didn't know they were based on a book series. So maybe once I'm post-op, I'll be reading that because I need reading material, man. I won't be able to do readings because I think I'm supposed to be laying down. So I'm like, oh, this is so hard. Like I'm an active person, y'all. So for me, I'm like, I'm sure you guys are like, how are you not freaking out? Well, it's not malignant. What can you do? I've had a near-death experience several years ago, guys. Believe me. Anything after that can't even top it. And also I had to go in for anaphylaxis as in DE2 in November. So realistically, this is not that bad to me. Oh yeah, y'all. So y'all want to talk about it being a hell of a month, man. For the psychics out there, it's been a hell of a month for us because we've been having to recharge. And I don't know about you guys, but it's been weird for me. I'm not a person that is like big on rest until I have to be. So for me, taking 30 days off was just bananas, but I did get things done that I needed to go back and get done. So the retrograde kind of still did its job. I know for Taurus, it was a little insane. And I know for you guys, because you guys caught the heat of it at the end, it was very insane. And I mean, it's so funny. I went to a dental appointment like right before all this, and they're an office full of Geminis, which I think is absolutely hilarious because the lady who's a hygienist goes, oh yeah, everybody thinks we're crazy. I go, that's the truth about y'all Gemini. But the truth is I said, but that's so not true. You guys are primal communication. You're the first sign that comes for communicating to others. And, that's kind of, it's not easy. It's not easy to always be the firstborn, especially when it comes to communication, because your communication may be all over the place, but that's not your fault. It's the energy you were born into, which is why the other areas of your chart are helpful, especially if you know how to read natal charts. I do, but like I said, I won't be available to do readings at least till July. So I will give you guys some pointers as we get into this. So let's go ahead and see for Gemini, what do the dragons have to say, in terms of guidance, this beautiful dragon totem, which totally gets craziness. And in a way, dragons they don't come off as crazy at all. In fact, they come off super serene and full of wisdom. But, you know, dragons are, I think they're such a fun totem to work with because they are so strong and their presence is so commanding. But at the same time, they can be super gentle or super fiery. And they really do embody this polarity that you guys are to me in terms of the mystical and the divine feminine masculine aspects while still being total badass. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I love working with dragons. Like, they're awesome. And also their wisdom is usually pretty sound. I got to be honest. I've never had advice from one of them that didn't exactly work out to my highest good. You know what I'm saying? Like, or I didn't learn something. That's the beauty of working with dragons. You always learn something. It's a hard path, but because they know it's not easy. That's why they're so strong and why they protect the people who work with them so much and so fiercely, because, you know, it's not an easy road when you walk the dragon path. It's really not. And that's some personal experience. Okay, that's a little too many, but I'll go ahead and take them because it was only one over. So excuse me while I do my dragon fate, because I see we've got 2 cards here in reverse I'm not really liking, but I'm sorry, 3 cards in reverse that I'm not really liking, but they're not bad. But I am a bit concerned, and it might be because your 12th house of endings and new beginnings with that retrograde in Taurus and all of those fiery planets in there just kind of burnt out. I feel like everybody's a little burnt out from what happened in Taurus, like with that Mercury retrograde, which I said was going to happen. Did I not? I said that last month. If you are new, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and go check out that video from last month, because y'all's readings were entertaining, because I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, I don't know what's going to hit us the fan, but I have an idea of what's going to hit us the fan. And then sure enough, everything I had suspected, because based on the readings and everything I had foreseen years ago, I was like, oh man. I was like, well, tried to avert that timeline. Guess it just still had to happen. You know, sometimes that's the thing about timelines. When we are on a certain course, there are things where once things have been set in motion, we cannot undo. And then there are things that they can be undone, but they can only be healed now after they've been undone, which is interesting because, you know, timelines are so fluid. And so are the other dimensions. So give me a second here. Oh, hello. Oh, the green lady. I like her. She's always, I swear, I don't know who painted this one, but I always get like Uncle Sam vibes from her with how she's pointing. You know what I mean? Like, because, you know, I'm from the US and we have turmoil. We're a hot mess. We're a hot mess on a really crappy 4th of July. That's how bad of a hot mess we are. But I hope y'all get a kick out of that one. But I will say, you know, you guys, it is what it is right now. Things will get better. It's just going to take some time. And also, we need to get it together. We need to figure out our wants and needs, right? We haven't really done that for some time because my country is too busy fighting with each other to really figure out its wants and needs. And then the ones that keep trying to help the people that have figured out the wants and needs keep stifling. And, you know, the people that pay into the pockets of other people keep getting their freaking way, which I'm really tired of it. But you know what? The universe, this is the thing. The astrology is going to come through and fix it, which is nice, or at least get it back to some kind of balance and semblance. That's why astrology, I think, is so important, because even though planetary alignments, you guys may not understand it, it really does play out in the real world. So let's see here, these last 2 dragons. What is the advice for my beautiful dragon fae? Ooh. Okay, hold on. Oh, I like him. I've worked with him before. He's pretty blunt too. Or she. It looks like a he, but I think this one is a female. So hold on one second. Okay, we're not taking these. We're not taking these. This came up in Aries reading. I just did Aries reading, but it came up in reverse. So meaning the door was open. So we're going to go ahead and no, you want to be here. We're going to put that here. Okay, so here is the deal, my beautiful Geminis. We've got starting off in June. and she doesn't even want to move. We have the Kuai Yin's pink dragon in reverse. Now, this is actually a heart chakra based dragon. I am not liking this as our opener, but I know why we're like this. We're kind of closed off in our heart space right now. Again, retrograde. I get it. Oh, but it's your birthday season, you know, like you guys need to also have some fun in the sun. I know by the time we come out of retrograde fully and Mercury goes fully direct, it'll be past your birthday. But you know what? Having a Mercury retrograde in my birth sign several years ago really sucked, but I still enjoyed that birthday. It was one of the best. So I made it because I let myself have fun because I had y'all have to understand, I lost my job. My housing was going to be up in 2 months. Like people were breathing down my neck, wanting me to, you know, be a nanny and not pay me. Like it was all kinds of stuff. Maddening. It was maddening, right? Like what's going on right now. But for me, I had never experienced anything like that before. And even though things were so bad, I was like, I'm still going to enjoy my time. And that's why I'm saying I don't like this card here in reverse, because this is telling me you guys aren't opening in your heart chakra. And the thing is I get it. It's kind of hard to open up your heart chakra if you are in survival mode, which I feel like a lot of you are. So I'm not necessarily upset or anything like that with you, but I do find this concerning because how can this beautiful, loving Dragon Fae energy help you if you're not open to receive? So how do we open to receive? We open to receive by working with the green lady of Y Dragon. Sorry, Daragonich. Sorry. So she is interesting because she's a very call to action Dragon Fae in terms of like, she is about saving Gaia, but it's not just being an activist. It's like also like watching your energy intake. You know, we've kind of talked about this a little bit with the other signs. I don't know if I've done this with you. Recycling, working with the Fae, you know, being conscientious that Gaia, the planet that we live on, is a living thing. She lives all the time. She provides so much for us. And, you know, we could show a little bit of gratefulness by taking care of her or taking the steps to take care of her, or the elementals, or like I said, the Fae, because sometimes the Fae and the elementals and the Dragon Fae, they are still mystical beings, but they are not always the same. Sometimes they're different, right? Elementals are very different than Fae. They are older. I would say they're about as old as the Fae, but usually they're older in the sense of time and wisdom, and you know, they're guardians. So you know, you have to think of these things and be mindful, and she kind of keeps you in line. I like this Dragon Fae because she reminds you like, yo, you, yes, you, I want you, you know, I want you to come do this. She'll give you like a call to action. And if you don't know what that is, it could be, well, let's say you want to help people do solar, you move to solar energy. Let's say you want to do sales in that. You want a new job. There you go. You know, you combine those together and she can help guide you on that path. Or let's say you don't want to change your job and you instead, you're like, you know what? I really want to open a garden. Okay. This is your way of taking heed to that call of action, because it's all about nurturing. This comes from a space of nurturing as well, because when we nurture, we learn to cultivate, I would say, empathy. And we also, when we do this type of work, it's like everything goes on the back burner. We're more concentrated on what is right in front of us. And then everything that we were working on all of a sudden slips away from our minds just for a minute to rebalance itself out in its energy, for you to take a pause. And that's why I love going into nature whenever I need to, because I can take that pause and I can observe just how beautiful the sun is, you know, or the moonlight. Sometimes people aren't sun people, they're moon people too. So, you know, I got to include them, you know, take a moon bath, go to the beach, enjoy. This is about enjoying your time on Gaia in this incarnation, which I think a lot of us keep trying to do. But as the world keeps proving, it's almost like there are energies that don't want us to do that. And the best way to give them a big, you know, birds up kind of thing. And if you don't know what that means, in my country, or we use the finger to those energies, is to essentially still go have fun and enjoy yourself, because that's what these energies are. They are about enjoying yourself, embracing love, embracing romance. Yes. Know your consequences. Yes. Are you aware of them? Yes. Are you taking the necessary actions to stop worrying about the consequences and have plans for if in case? Yes. Okay. If you're not, you might want to think about that before you do. But case in point, it's about, again, knowing these analytical things. You know, it's just like when you go to the beach and then someone hits their head on a rock, do they have insurance? No. Do we still need to take them to the urgent care because they're bleeding and they might have a concussion? Yes. Okay. Responsibility. Are we going to help them pay for the bill? We might not, but we might help them find programs that can help them pay for that bill. See, you see my point. It's exactly like that. And then also, how are we going to help the ocean? Because let's not forget, even though Gaia is, people always think of Gaia as green, we also have the oceans too. What about marine life? What about all this? Like, there are all these things that when you begin to look at things from a much broader perspective, it all kind of becomes clear on just how you can open up your heart space and nurture. And look at these. Oh my God, beautiful heart chakra colors right there, right there. I love that pink and green. If you want to work more with heart chakra opening, definitely recommend pink and green. You could do jade, you can do rose quartz, you can do rhodiola. I love rhodiola for people who need that unconditional love. It's black and pink. And this is the thing. Once you do that, you're able to bring in brings firm love that resets your karmic balance, right? Because here we're imbalanced, which honestly, Sag, you might not have this balance till this, I'm sorry, Gemini, you might not have this done until the Sagittarian full moon. And because also Sag is your 7th house of partnership, that is also something that is important that I need you to think about. Because Gemini, you have so much going for you in the 7th house. It's clear, it's open. I know right now Jupiter is about to go retrograde. And when he does, he will go retrograde, I believe, back into Pisces. But when he does, it's not a time for growth. It's a time for reviewing your emotions around everything and clearing this karmic balance. That most likely won't happen until after the full moon in Sag. So I did want to point that out. Also, this is about having your cords, your karmic cords dissolved, and they are done so by transcendent love. Enjoy your freedom. Look for the divine around you. Again, I really love this, Gemini. I really, really do for you as we begin to move into June. Hold on. Sorry. I'm like, okay. So then we have the white gold dragon from Lyra in our next week. This connects you to the highest, it says Christ consciousness. I disagree with that. Not that I'm hating on Christianity. I'm just not a big fan of it. I grew up in it. So for people who are aligned with this, great for you. For people who don't, like myself, know it's the highest vibrational light vibration possible. So at this point in time, which is awesome, right? So this connects you to that energy. You are also developing your casual chakra bathed in the 9th dimensional highest vibrational light. Now 9D is really high. I mean, like we're talking, that's higher than what we normally go to. There are many, many infinite levels of dimensions and vibration. And I'm pointing this out because if 9 is the highest we can go on this planet, that's a lot. That's pretty powerful. So I'm pointing this out because this also has to deal with Lyra. So Lyra, I'm a person who works with the Atlantean kind of Lemuria energy as well. Lyra might actually be a part of the constellations, and you might even be a starseed from there, or you may have done an incarnation there before you came here. But nonetheless, it is calling you back, Gemini. Or if you're a new soul, this energy is wanting to speak to you or work with you in some way. Now, I'm going to do a Fae blessing to see what exactly that is in just a few minutes here. But I did want to point out that's actually really nice. So not only are you protected, but you're able to give and extend this beautiful white light energy of protection and healing and peace, which I think right now, Gemini, for you, you do kind of need. You do kind of need to take that energy once you go through this shift and then be able to step into that and then confidently move forward for the rest of the month. I think that would actually be quite helpful and beneficial to you. Also, if you want to figure out how to do that through spells, rites, rituals, and incantations, I have a Patreon link down in the description box below that you can check out. I did post them for May, but honestly, those videos are timeless. The rites, rituals, spell works, and messages from Mother Isis are very timeless. And in fact, you can do those rituals at any time that you need. So if you would like to go ahead and channel those, and work with them and listen to that on my Patreon page, and I instruct you guys on how to do those things in proper ways and methods, then do so. You know, if you think that will help you step into this energy and also even dissolve this tie through unconditional love, that will definitely help out a lot. I know they're on Patreon, so that is in the description box down below. Oh, and before I forget, if you guys would like to tip me, since I'm not able to do personal readings right now, as a job well done to help me pay for the surgery, that would be great. The tip link is also down in the description box below. Now, as we go into the week 3 of June, we have here, so we're coming out of Mercury retrograde at this point. We have the Earth and Water Dragon for you. Creates the foundation for new growth. A fresh start is coming with new opportunities. Nurture your ideas and harvest the abundance. Now, for you, this, I know like the 12th house is kind of obliterated for you, but Earth and water are going to be the houses that have to deal with the 8th house, the 12th, the 4th. And for you, since Cancer is technically your 2nd house, so it would actually be the 2nd house for you. And also, I'm trying to think of where Virgo and Capricorn are to you. Capricorn would be your 10th, I believe. Yeah. No. I'm sorry. Hang on. It would be your, give me a minute here, because Cancers, that's their partnership house. You're one back. So your 6th house, I believe, is Capricorn. And or you can look for the placements of Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. I would say stay away from Taurus because everything's got to cool off in there. So go for Capricorn and Virgo, or Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy, because these are the elements that are going to help you to work with this dragon, especially in week 3, as we come directly out of retrograde in your sign. And also, I know you guys probably wanted a fresh start and you kept like trying to do that, but then maybe everything coming out with everything that's gone on in the news and in the world, you kept putting the brakes on it during May. Honestly, doing anything during a retrograde, starting anything new, moving cycles, it's never recommended because of things like that. So now is the time to actually pick up and move directionally forward, because ideally you would have used the retrograde to do your research, right? Ideally, if you didn't, you probably could still do your research, but you might have to plan things out around the next retrograde if it's anything major. Like you can't do anything major till August. I would say if you can't get it done between now and let's say mid-August, I would plan it out a little bit longer. Look at the retrogrades on the calendar, because this one was pretty powerful and impactful. And when that retrograde hits Virgo, it's going to be like mid-Virgo season, mid-Leo season in August to September. I would probably put the brakes on again. That's when I would do my research. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. If you can't get it done now, plan out when you want to get it done, either before or after a retrograde. If it's anything major, specifically, especially if it's tied to finances, because since Virgo rules finances, and luck, I would very much appreciate you guys doing the planning now. You know, talking with a financial advisor, especially, you know, someone who is an expert. If it's something major like doing housing or, you know, making a move or opening a business, somebody that you can trust, and look for someone who has an expertise in the area, at least 30 years in the field, maybe 25-ish, maybe 20. But if they have 15, I'm not saying they're not great. They probably are, but they're intermediate. So I need you to think about in terms of your level of financial advice when you go to seek out anything for a financial advisor, to find someone with the level of experience you are needing for your questions. If you feel like you have beginner questions, I would say go to the intermediate. But if your intuition says, I want the advanced guide, then follow your intuition on that. If this has anything to do with water, which is emotions, love, I was going to say, I was going to say, fulfillment, like things that will fulfill you heart space and in your emotional aspect. This is where those areas of Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces are going to play a big deal in your chart, specifically in your second house, especially from now all the way to the end of Cancer season, which will be towards the end of July. So I want you guys to know, what is it you're trying to make yourself feel more inner secure about with this new beginning as well, because we can't just look at the emotional. We also have to look at the material, the action oriented, and the 3D with the world around us to see how it will all not only come together as one puzzle, but how it will all fit and work together, because that's how we align our frequencies and our energies, right? So this is where that plays a very big role in this, in that week. Now, these last two dragons are in reverse. I'm like, tisk, 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 but not too bad. So we have the orange dragon here in reverse. Now, this dragon actually talks about soul families and community. Right now, we're a bit disconnected from that. But the elder, heed the wise counselor. This is a very, I love this dragon fae, because I feel like when I'm in a sassy mood, they are so me, or I am so them, one of the two. And basically, it's like they've given you this kind of advice that you are not listening about. And they're like, bro, hello, I have told you, like they're kind of like that. Like I've done told you, like how many times, then you negated it. And so this energy is coming in to be like, look, you're either going to heed the advice or you're not. Now, how that affects your soul family is really interesting, because this is telling me either A, you are not able to connect to your soul family at this time, or B, you are trying to find them, but in the process, you're negating something with your intuition. You're not listening to it. And your intuition is tapping into this dragon phase advice, and you're not taking it, most likely because it doesn't seem logical or practical as per the air signs. That's usually how it goes. And then it ends up getting proven. And then the dragon fae end up getting frustrated because they're trying to help you, but they can't directly help you because they're in another kind of realm. So because of the veil. So it's like, I understand. I'm not blaming you guys on saying, oh, you negate your intuition, because this is so far into the future. This is like towards the end of June as we go into Cancer season. This is where I'm going to need you to tap into that second house Cancer. Even if you are not a natal second house Cancer, I need you to go find the area of Cancer in your chart, the area of Scorpio in your chart, because Scorpio is really tapped in with psychic ability as well, and Pisces. All three of those. If you have one of those or all three or two, I need you to go to those areas of your chart to figure out what is it they're trying to warn me about, because this energy keeps trying to warn you about something. Now, they're trying to warn you for your positive and your benefit. And the people around you at that time, they're not going to be for your positive and your benefit, highest good. The ones that you keep getting off feelings about, that's where you need to tune into this and find out, and or get a reading. Unfortunately, I'm not available right now until at least July. Maybe I will be sooner. If so, I will definitely put an announcement out. You can book a session with me ASAP. I'll take you. But until then, listen to your intuition. Carry, and also, you know what? Carry protections around you that are going to avert not just negativity, but enemies around you that are hidden. There are crystals out there that do that. Bloodstone is one, I know. Another one you could carry, what is it? Oh my gosh, I have it under my pillow and I can't remember it. Black onyx. Black onyx is great for averting people with negative energies. You can do pink aventurine, helps keep you away from people that if they try to present dangerous situations to you, like somehow it like ends up changing it around. That those three alone will most likely work, or one of the three. Personally, I would do all three if I could. But if you can't find all three, just find one. If anything, Bloodstone and black onyx would be a really good one together. You can put them in your purse. You can keep them in your pocket. You can put them in your bra. So there are those recommendations, because this is the thing. If I'm sensing negative energy from other people, and this dragon's coming up trying to give you a warning, they definitely have intentions that are, like I said, they're not only not for your highest good, I don't even think you realize they're for your highest good. Those stones will either bring the truth out, or B, you will end up averting those situations, which is great, because that's what ideally what we want. If we can't find the truth out, we should have been finding the truth out last month. If you found something out and you still choose to hang around these people, I'm not going to be like, why? But I am going to be like, look, you have the elder here already telling you intuitively it's probably not a good idea. So I'm just going to say it's probably not a good idea. You know, I get it. Your heart might be in the right place, but they might not be in the right place in their heart space to be around you. That's something you need to think about. So lastly, we do have here excuse me one second, guys, the dark blue galactic dragon Gemini. And this actually talks about helping you listen to the voice of the universe, ignites the codes of your master blueprint, access cosmic wisdom and higher service. And this is in reverse. Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. What in the HE double heck are you doing, baby? When the universe is calling you, are you not sure to heed the call? Like, what's the deal here? Like, come on. You're a very vocal sign. And when you're quiet, something's up. So here's the thing. You have Hide Key's door, a knock on the door. So this is actually interesting because I've worked with this card. I showed Aries. I'm going to show y'all. This card has creases in it at some point or another. Let me see. Where are those creases? Oh, there they are. So I don't know if y'all can see. I have slept with this under my pillow, actually. And this door is different for everybody. I will be honest. It is not the same for everyone, but I'm pointing this out so you all understand this door is special because it's only one that you can open with the proper action. And the door is essentially a metaphor, but it ends up being it turns into a gateway that becomes real. So let me explain. Because it's talking about you heeding the call. Now, when I actually slept with this under my pillow and I worked with this, I had a dream about a door that was like, there were two doors. And I was in like that scene in the labyrinth where there are the three doors in the garden. Okay, it's like that. But the doors, instead of there being three, there were two back to back, but they didn't open to the same space. And the door that was open for me that I wanted to go through, it looked like it was locked. So I kept trying to open it. I was looking for a key, I could see the light through, and then I went on the other side and I was able to open that door with a key or something, but I didn't like it. So I closed it because it was just like, I don't like the energy coming out of that door. So I go back to the one that has like the light streaming through in the seams here, like this one. And I kept looking, I was searching, I did everything, but actually try to open the door as if it were unlocked. And finally, I asked my guides to come down and help me open this door. And finally, my guide goes, oh my God, literally, it was unlocked like the whole time. Like, here you go. So essentially, I did everything but actually try to see if it was unlocked. It's funny, but like when you're in those situations, because the door was talking about something from my personal path that I knew I needed to do, and I had been trying in the waking world. Finally, it was like lining up in the dream world, same thing. But now I know, all I have to do is just open it. It was already open. I just thought it was locked. So, right. So that's the metaphor. But in reality, when it turns up in the real world, this actually happened to a client of mine that they get this card. They're trying to get a job in the medical field. They're trying to do, like, let's say OBGYN major surgery. Unfortunately, nobody wants to hire them because of their test scores, right? Let's say. So what happens is I'm like, okay, this door is here. They're saying, yes, you can still get the job, but you need to look in fields similar to it, because they were like, well, everybody wants me to be a family doctor. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't like that. And they're like, no, I don't. I said, I'll tell you this, why don't you try applying for the NICU, for example, right? I say that. They did something in a similar field and got it actually this year. So the door wasn't so much the application as it actually was the field that they were applying for. You see what I'm saying when I tell you it's not just metaphorical, it actually ends up becoming a real door. So depending on the situation in terms of you guys and this door opening in the universe, in order for you to want to heed the universe's call, first you have to listen and you have to go through this door. You have to step through to the other side. You have to want to do it, right? Like you can't just ignore. I mean, eventually the universe is always going to get its way. That's what I always tell people. I love the universe and it loves me, but sometimes it's a brat, but it gets what it wants because it knows what we all need in the collective. And when you think of it like that, then you begin to realize, oh, the universe isn't necessarily working against me just to be a jerk. It's working against me to have me test my skills, right? How am I going to be a better, for example, reader if I can't read the runes the right way? Because I do rune readings too. Like, how am I going to do that? I've been doing it for 7 years. The only way is to get off of the tarot and to go to runes, to start working with them more actively daily, doing the research. You see what I'm saying? Getting the practice in. This is important. So Gemini, I'm going to pull a Fae blessing card. That card is in reverse. We're not going to accept that because it's not a blessing. It's not coming to you. So I need a blessing from my beautiful Steely beings for Gemini. Ooh. Hold on one second. You guys. Oh my God. I love this print. I always wanted a copy of this print. So the blessing that you guys have for June, Gemini, is a blessing of clear foresight. Now it's interesting that this card came up as a blessing because this card talks about dreams, dream work, clairvoyance, claircognizant, all of the clairs that are psychic, mainly the ones that have to do with the third eye, all being open here. And in fact, they're not only open for you to use for personal gain, they're open for you to develop and work on so you can end up working on your path and helping others, which is important, which is now I get why this is in reverse. You're scared to do it, which I get it because, you know, a lot of spiritual people, even like myself, we catch a lot of heat from society. It's annoying, but Gemini, it's just a part of the path. It is what it is. We can't change that. We can only change what is in our sphere of influence. And when this is in your sphere of influence and you have an ability to help others with beautiful foresight, accuracy, and clear sight, then why are you not using it? Like, if you're here to do that, how can you ignore it? Doesn't it bother you? I know it would bother me. It did bother me for a very long time till I opened and embraced this. Now, the thing is when you start to work with this energy, especially if you know you've had it, but you're a baby at all of this, this is where I'm going to tell you, listen to frequency music first. If I could go back and tell anybody how to develop, frequency music would really have helped me. And also doing the research on herbs that help and crystals that help with protections, that help with, you know, my intentions, keeping things aligned, especially when it comes to what you want to see and what you don't want to see. Because once you open up the psychic ability, you open yourself up to them, because we all naturally have them. But once you open yourself up to them, it's not like a genie in a bottle. Okay. You're awakened. That's it. You can't go back to sleep. This is, I feel like I'm about to make a Matrix reference, but you're either red pilled or you're blue pilled, and one of the two is going to stick. And once you take one or the other, that's a choice. And the thing is once you awaken and you use your abilities, you're no longer asleep. The downside is you begin to see a lot more than just the everyday. You see the energy, you see the frequency, you begin to perceive things differently, but from a higher perspective. But you also begin to see the lower negative perspectives as well. But what you learn to focus on is, okay, what do I learn from this? It's exactly what I just said about what do I learn from this? How am I going to become better? How am I going to make this better when it is in my control? Okay. And if it's not in your control, how do I work on releasing that? How do I work to shift that energy? Right? It all goes into all of that, Gemini. And honestly, I think this is good for you. I think this is good for you, working on your clairsight and your clear vision and your third eye. And don't try to open it if you're new, because you might see some things you don't want to see. If you want to work on clairsight, try dream work first. I actually have a course. It was on my Etsy shop that I will be posting once everything's better for me medically and house-wise. But I do have a dream course and how to work with all of that. But try doing that first. Try asking, your guides and your guardians to help you develop your clairsight in the dream world, in the astral plane. And the Fae will definitely help you with this. Now, when you invoke the Fae of clairsight, ask and invoke the goddess Freya. We always do that because she will keep them in check and make sure there aren't any tricksters in there. And you also make sure to ask her that too. And also, the Fae are highly clairvoyant. They know many, many things. And they're also a lot of fun to work with in terms of like guidance, but they'll also like show you things too. So be very mindful, if it's something you want to see in the dream world, ask something small. Ask for something small, something that would, or symbolism that you could work through in, maybe a week's time, maybe the month. That might be something you might want to do the whole month while I'm gone. So go ahead and think on that, right? Go ahead and exercise it, get the juices flowing, if you will. Also, if you're going to do dream work, definitely pick up an amethyst crystal. I would recommend that for sure. Start off with amethyst. Oh, and put smoky quartz under your bed. You will thank me later. You can do amethyst under your bed too. Other than that, Gemini, I'm going to head out. If you guys enjoyed this reading, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And until we meet again, if you would like to tip me for my hard work, thank you that I do this for free. I would definitely appreciate it. If you would like to book a session with me, please do so. I will have my calendar open after July 1st. Ideally, I will be available for sessions at that time. If things change, I will let y'all know. But let's go ahead and just leave me a tip at this point, to thank me for my hard work, to pay me, to help me pay the bill. That'd be great. And let me think what else. Oh, the Patreon. If you would like access to more of my content, please go to my Patreon page. You can get access to my content from the last 2 to 3 months. And you can also get that Isis Oracle Unconditional Healing Love sessions with the rites, ritual, spell work, and incantations. Until we speak again, Gemini, have a great June. I love you so much. You got this. Bye.